Hey, what's going on everybody, Swagkage here, and before I get the video started, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Verve, as I've had a habit of doing before my Boruto reviews over the last few months, and for those of you who still don't know what it is, it's an app owned by the team over at Crunchyroll, where you can watch a whole bunch of different content from a wide variety of different service providers like Machinima, RiffTrax, and the two I think you guys will be the most interested in, Crunchyroll and Funimation. These are two of the biggest anime streaming platforms on the market right now, so across the two of them you can watch pretty much any anime you could think of, either subbed on Crunchyroll or dubbed on Funimation. If you get the combo pack for just $10 a month, you also get access to up to 8 of the channels Verve has integrated into their service, along with access to some combo pack exclusive shows like Last Man, which I have been told is excellent. If you click the link in the description, you can get a 30-day ad-free trial of Verve and start gorging yourself on all of the juicy content I just mentioned without any ads to worry about. Go ahead, click that link, sign yourself up for Verve, and you'll help the channel out a decent bit in the process. Thanks, guys. Yo, how's everybody doing today? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about Boruto episode 28 titled Declaration of War, and this is like hands down my favorite episode of the bunch that we've received so far. Also, it's been like a whole 28 weeks since the anime started. That's crazy. It's been a really long time, over half a year. Anyway, enough about that. I don't want to talk about that too much because this episode was actually really good. I don't want to dote around too much on like small stuff. This was a seriously good episode. All of the other ones, you know, like I haven't had a problem with too many of the episodes outside of the really stupid Sumire stuff and my very numerous problems with the Naruto Gaiden arc that a lot of people got mad at me for. But no, you know, like this episode was actually good because like not only was it a well-written episode that like the writing was tight, everything was just structured really well. You know, you can tell the writers just did a really good job in pretty much every department. But on top of that, stuff actually happened. See, with Boruto episodes, you usually get either one of two things. You get a pretty well-written, you know, just solid episode, but nothing really happens in it. It's not tense. It's super grounded, laid-back slice of life. Or you get something where things get tense and where you feel threatened by whatever's going on, but the writing isn't entirely up to snuff. This is not an example of either of those two things. It was a mixture of the best of both worlds. So we've got a good episode where things are getting serious, and I'll stop dancing around the actual shit that went on in the episode. Well, actually, before I get into the meat of episode 28, I do want to get my two major gripes with it out of the way. One, I was talking about how serious and dire this episode felt, where they finally introduced a real threat, and I was like, yes, we finally have like a good villain. But despite the fact that this episode established some tension for this arc really early on, it did something to kind of offset that, which is the kid that got like gutted at the end of last week's episode, the one who had his fucking throat slit, is alive. Apparently Sara attended to his injuries. He looks like he's wearing bandages around his neck, and that really bugged me. I was like, seriously, that was a great scene and you're just gonna throw that away? Like, it would have been so much better and so much more effective if you had just let this kid be dead. Nobody liked him. Nobody was happy to see him alive. When you have a character who dies, it's one thing to bring them back if that character is somebody that a lot of people like and that a lot of people think makes the show better by simply being there. This kid is not an example of that. Nobody liked him. He was actually written for the express purpose of being unlikable. So why would you bring him back? He worked really well as an example or like as a precedent for the seriousness of this arc, for, you know, like the fact that shit's gonna get real, people are gonna die, and there's nothing that Boruto's gonna be able to do about it. You know, it would have been really nice to have like a dark, gritty arc akin to the first arc that we had in part 1, the Land of Waves arc, where Team 7 ran into Zabuza and Haku. You know, things were serious there. Things felt, you know, Zabuza and Haku were incredibly threatening. It felt like things could go wrong at any time. When Sasuke got fucking stabbed by all of those needles that Haku was throwing, it felt like, okay, this guy might actually die, but I don't think any of the main characters are gonna die in this arc. Well, not just because of the fact that they've already established that they're a bit hesitant to kill main characters, but also because all of the main characters are present in the movie and I guess in the manga, with the exception of like some anime exclusive ones, but I know they're not going to get killed off. Anyway, I am going off on a bit of a tangent here. The point is they should have left this kid dead, and they didn't do that. The second main issue that I had with this episode was the fact that Kagura was like really melodramatic. Like every time Shizuma, by the way, Kisame Jr., he got, well, I'm pretty sure his name was, like somebody spoke to him by name in one of the last two episodes, but I didn't catch it. It was made very clear, like they said his name multiple times in this episode, so I got it. His name is Shizuma. Anyway, so every time Shizuma spoke to Kagura, he just like, he would like fall to the ground, or he'd be like, huh? And he would start breathing heavily, and I was just like, oh, man, you're really overplaying this thing. Like, I get it. He's like really worried about the fact that he might turn into a killer if he ever picks up a sword, but like, are you kidding me? That like this is definitely like really overplayed. But aside from those two issues, nothing really. Oh my god, I've already been talking for so long about just that. So let me actually get to the good stuff about the episode. So the episode, it's centered around the conflict, or it's actually centered around some stuff that's going to go down in the future. Shizuma establishes that pretty much everything that like all of the hostile mist villagers have been doing has been in pursuit of this goal that Shizuma has to kill Boruto and use the death of the son of the Hokage to declare war against the Hidden Leaf. And I think that's actually pretty smart. I'm like, okay, yeah, Naruto is an extremely peaceful person. It will be really difficult to get him to agree to a war between multiple nations or even multiple villages. But, you know, if his son gets fucking killed in the Hidden Mist Village and the Mizukage Chojuro gets usurped, there's really, like, nothing Naruto will be able to do about it because, you know, he actually knows Chojuro. He's spoken to Chojuro. I assume, anyway. They've probably had some, like, Kage Summit-esque meetings already where Naruto has gotten to know him. But, you know, if he gets taken out of the picture and one of the new 7 ninja swordsmen becomes the Mizukage, well, it'll be a completely different story, and Naruto might be forced to fight back. And I think that's a really cool motive to have. Essentially, they just want to return things to how they were before. I'm not entirely sure what declaring war has to do with getting rid of Chojuro, but they want to get rid of Chojuro because they, like, Chojuro's pretty much purged the names of, like, any major family that caused trouble in the past from memorials. Like, the Hoshigaki clan, for example, they don't have their family name on any memorials, presumably because Kisame joined the Akatsuki and was, like, this really big international criminal, like this huge nuisance to pretty much everybody. So, you know, the Hoshigaki clan, they got punished for that just as a whole, and Shizuma doesn't like that, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. And the same thing happened with Kagura's clan, the Karatachi family, because Yagura was a corrupt ruler. The Karatachi clan name got wiped from every memorial, and I was like, all right, that's cool. That makes sense. This is actually a really interesting motivation for this guy to have. And Shizuma's a pretty cool villain as well. He's pretty nuanced. I don't want to say he's like incredibly complex, but he's not one-dimensional. He certainly isn't a flat character. He does things that are unexpected. You can most often see how layered this guy is when he's interacting with Kagura. For instance, Kagura wants to let Boruto live, so Shizuma's just like, well, all right, I guess we might as well. Like, as a matter of fact, Kagura raises his sword to Shizuma's neck, and one of the other 7 Mist swordsmen comes running to his aid, and he's just like, whoa, 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 and then Shizuma's like, hold on, let him speak, let him say what he wants, and then Kagura's just like, I can't kill Boruto. Boruto, get out of here, run. And Shizuma's just like, well, you heard the man. I guess we're gonna spare you because we really want Kagura on our side, and if we decide to fight him over this, we'll probably be the ones getting slayed. And I think that's really cool. By the way, I haven't even established the main plot of the episode, so yeah, anyway, main plot is the 7 ninja swordsmen are going to usurp the Mizukage, declare war on the Leaf, and in order to do that, they need to kill Boruto. So all 7 ninja swordsmen show up, right? 6 of them are hostile when the episode begins, and Kagura is the only one that they need on their side, right? Because of the of what Shizuma says about Kagura, right? When he's just like, well, if we go up against him, we're probably gonna get taken down, so let's just let Boruto go for now before we can convince him to help us kill him. that makes me think that Kagura is like easily the best swordsman in the whole village, and that he would like solo all of these guys. Like if that's true, that's fucking insane. But yeah, anyway, at the end of the episode, there's this like really cool scene where all 7 swordsmen are standing in front of the 7 legendary swords, and they're like, yeah, time to start a fucking revolution, boys. And I was like, yo, this is hype as shit. So the 7 ninja swordsmen are gonna be the new antagonists of this little, I don't know if it's gonna be a mini arc. Actually, I doubt that it's gonna be a mini arc. I'm pretty sure it's gonna take a pretty long time to conclude, given the fact that the opening focuses on most of the 7, or not most of, but some of the 7 ninja swordsmen as enemies. And now I understand why Boruto and Kagura are fighting in the opening. It's not just like a sparring match. They're actually like fucking mortal enemies. Speaking of Boruto fighting Kagura, he seems to be under the impression that he can take on all 7 mist swordsmen by himself. Sarada does agree to help him because, Boruto like collapses from exhaustion after his encounter with the 7 mist swordsmen because he tries to fight all of them at once, and he actually pulls out this really cool jutsu, or I guess it's a combination of jutsu called Boruto Stream, where he moves super fucking fast, right? Like it's crazy. I was actually incredibly impressed by him, and I was just like, whoa, all right. So Boruto definitely means business here. But anyway, like he gets taken care of pretty quickly. You know, he isn't much of a threat to all 7 mist swordsmen at once, or even the 6 of them that are fighting against him when Kagura is still deciding who he wants to side with. But he gets knocked out pretty easily. You know, like he can't even stand after the beating he takes from them, I guess, which is like, well, I guess that's not surprising. They're the fucking 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, so like, what are you gonna do? You're fucking, I don't even know if Boruto's graduated from the academy yet. Is he a Genin? No, this is an academy field trip. He's still a fucking academy student. Jesus, that's crazy. So yeah, he got knocked out. Can't really do much against the 7 ninja swordsmen when you're an academy student. And Sarada rescues him, so he explains everything that happened to her, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go save Kagura myself. And she's like, well, I'm coming with you. And then the kid from last week that was supposed to die, that I was talking about earlier in my review, yeah, he's there, and I guess he agrees to go with them. All 3 of them are gonna go save Kagura from the 7 mist swordsmen, and I'm like, really? I really hope this doesn't happen. Boruto, Sarada, and this no-name kid better not solo the 7 ninja swordsmen of the fucking mist. These guys better be incredibly threatening, and like, because it's only been a couple episodes so far, and the opening is completely centered around the conflict with the 7 mist swordsmen, I'm thinking that it's going to take a lot longer than just a couple episodes to get rid of these guys, especially given how long the first opening lasted. So with that in mind, I think that Boruto and Sarada and this other kid are all gonna get fucking thwomped by the swordsmen at first. Either that, or they're not gonna be able to catch them. The swordsmen are gonna be so, like, whatever the case is, I don't think they're gonna get taken care of very easily. I don't know if Boruto's gonna attempt to challenge them on his own, but if he does, if he and Sarada do like attempt to take these guys out, like, they better get fucking destroyed, dude. I don't want to see any friendship bullshit or like any of that. I don't want any god modding on the part of the protagonists just because they're the main characters, you know? Boruto and Sarada are academy students. They have no business fighting fucking like Jonin plus level opponents, Swagkage level opponents, actually. The 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist are supposedly the strongest ninja in the entire village next to the Kage, so yeah, none of that. What I do think is going to happen is Suigetsu is going to help these guys out, because yeah, Suigetsu showed up at one point in the episode, and now he doesn't have Zabuza's sword like he did in Shippuden when we saw him for the most part, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that he'll still be just fine. He probably has another sword of his own, maybe one forged by Orochimaru, like specifically to suit Suigetsu's combat style. Maybe he even has a copy of Zabuza's sword. I'm not entirely sure. Like a replica of it, not like a second sword, but like, you know, like he built one. Yeah, I think you guys get what I mean. So anyway, I really want to see Suigetsu fight because he was incredibly strong back in Shippuden, and he's had plenty of time to train. Now, I don't know how much advantage he's taken of the time that he's had to train, but I know that he has had plenty of time to get stronger, and I really want to see the fruits of his training. Really, that's about all that I have to say about this episode. I'm just looking forward to everything that comes after this, because like, this episode was a hype bomb. I said that verbatim on Twitter. I was really excited to see the 7 ninja swordsmen all at once. They look super intimidating. I have a feeling that they're not going to be as intimidating as they should be, but I mean, I really hope that they do the job as villains that they're supposed to, because like, nothing would make me happier than to see these guys putting in work and terrorizing all of Boruto's class. It'd be really cool to see Shin Shino go up against these guys, but if they're as strong as the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist are supposed to be, Shino needs to get fucking washed. Really, nobody in the Leaf should be able to take all of these guys out at once. They only have like a couple teachers. I think the only adults there from the Leaf are Shino and Anko. So yeah, if Kagura actually turns against everybody, I don't know how on earth they're gonna take these guys out. I do hope that Kagura doesn't decide, like, I really hope that his decision is permanent, but I don't think it's gonna be. What's gonna happen is he's gonna turn to the side of the Blood Mist, and then he's gonna turn back to Boruto's side and be like, I'm sorry, I really want to be friends, blah, blah, blah. Like, they wouldn't have spent so much time trying to establish that he likes Boruto if they didn't plan on having him do a second heel face turn after this. That's just my opinion, but maybe the writers will be smarter than that and will have him stick to his guns on this one and be like, no, I am going to stay as a member of the 7 Mist Swordsmen. If you want to take me out, you're gonna have to fucking kill me, bro. That would actually be really satisfying, considering he got away with Talk no Jutsuing Sumire, and I really don't want him to pull the same shit against Kagura or any of the 7 Mist Swordsmen for that matter. But anyway, that's about all for my review. I'd give this episode a solid 4 out of 5. It was really good. There were a few problems that I had with it, but overall the writing was solid. As a matter of fact, this episode was so well written that it actually made me like Sarada, who I have just had like a chronic hatred of throughout the entire series. I just haven't liked Sarada no matter what she does. Every appearance she's made, she's just done something that really annoys me or gets under my skin. But here, no, she was an incredibly likable character, and I thought the writers handled her pretty well. But yeah, anyway, that's all for me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry this review was so long, but I just really wanted to talk about this episode because it was great. Hopefully, Boruto continues being this good in the future. But yeah, until my next video, talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye. Oh yeah, real quick, before I finish the review, right, like before I roll the outro, there's also this one part in the episode where Shizuma says he's 18 for some reason. And I know that there are a lot of other things that I didn't touch on in the episode, and that is probably like the least important of them. Like, for instance, the fact that Chojuro gave his sword to Yagura at the beginning of the episode and was all like, yeah, you know, you deserve it. You're now the protector of the village. You know, like that, and some of the other things I missed were a lot more important. But like, for real, why he's just like, yeah, I might not look it, but I'm still 18. Like, why was whatever. I just thought it was really funny, and I felt like pointing it out. Anyway, yeah, roll the outro.